Hello, and welcome to the Carb Watch with your friend Andy. And you may be, if you're not seeing this, I am right next to a bundle of bananas. And you might be thinking, this is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This bleep is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. And it is. I'm surrounded. I'm getting a note from production now that we'll have to add those bleeps in later. Please and thank you. We're talking about bananas because the world has gone bananas right now, and we are surrounded by bananas. So we want to talk about the carbs in bananas. Before we get into the actual counts, because I've actually got some good tools up, I've got my handy dandy phone where we're going to go on Harvard Health and look up some interesting facts about bananas. But bananas have once been long touted as a good fruit. It's a fruit. It's a natural fruit. It's been touted as a high sugar fruit, so we should avoid it. And then in some cases, it's part of a brat diet. Bananas, rice, apples, toast, which is actually good for diarrhea. So people kind of get mixed signals about whether or not they should be eating bananas or shouldn't be eating bananas. I know you can't compare apples and oranges, and you can't compare apples and bananas, but those often kind of get mixed into the what is a better fruit for you to choose. So just on the outskirts, what am I trying to say? Just right off the bat is what I'm trying to say. Bananas have anywhere from 23 to 28 grams of carbs per serving. I mean, one whole banana is about 23 to 28, depending on the size of the banana. This typical banana, I would say 25. This is probably a 28. We've got a variety pack in here. These look very ripe. Unripened bananas are actually lower in carbs or lower on the glycemic index. They have resistant starches that actually are good for you. So there's some interesting stuff about bananas that I wanted to talk to you about because there's a lot of good stuff in bananas. The bad part about bananas is that it has sugar in it. That's as bananas get ripe, they're sweet, they have sugar, and they are higher on the glycemic index, but not the highest. So we always look for low glycemic index means below 50. This means how quickly does it get into your bloodstream. These are 51, so they're higher on the glycemic index, but still kind of on that threshold between low and high. And then the glycemic load, which I'm going to look up for you right now, is a more specific measure that not only accounts for the food's glycemic index, how quickly it gets into your bloodstream, but also the amount of carbs in one serving. So 10 or less is rated as low, and bananas have anywhere from 11 to 13. So we're on that threshold. It's really not as bad as we think it is. But the thing that we want to talk about today, which kind of ties into the doctor's notes, a recent doctor's note on hypertension, is that bananas are high in potassium, which may actually help lower blood pressure. Has potassium, believe it has over 300 milligrams of potassium per serving. Whenever you think of a banana, you think potassium. But it also has other good sources like vitamin B6, fiber, magnesium, which also helps with your blood pressure, and vitamin C and manganese. So really not a bad fruit to choose, just not too much of it. So I wanted to go over this. We talked about the glycemic index. Is it high in the glycemic index? Kind of mid-range. Is it high in the glycemic load? No. Right on that threshold. But there's also something about an unripe banana, a green banana, or a plantain. So these types of carbohydrates in those types of bananas are resistant starches. So as it becomes unripe to ripe, it actually changes into an unresistant starch. But in the unripe bananas, resistant starches function similarly to dietary fiber. So resistant starches are not broken down in the small intestine, meaning that the glucose doesn't spike until later. So they're actually really good for your digestive system that way. It's these types of starches are digested very slowly. So they're actually good for the gut. So I feel like we also have some baby food. We have baby food down here by Gerber Baby. We were Gerber Babies. I'm getting a note from production right now to remind us that we are not sponsored by Gerber or Heinz, but we wish we were. I was definitely a Gerber baby. I feel like I was just as cute as these little babies on here until I hit the terrible 2s and 3s. So this is a serving of organic Gerber baby food, which has, let's look at the ingredients: organic bananas, good organic lemon juice, concentrate, and vitamin C. So really all pretty good things for young babies. 25 grams per serving, so like a banana, with some sugar in it. Not a significant source of protein, but also has some fiber in it too. So if you feel like you can't munch the banana this way, maybe you can try some Gerber baby food to get your bananas for the day. So remember, the things I want you to remember: bananas, not as bad as we've once thought it is. Is it higher on the glycemic index than apples? Yes, but you're also getting a lot more potassium per serving. Does it cause constipation? Maybe it depends on the type of ripeness of the banana that you're getting. And maybe the unripe bananas are giving you more resistant starches, which is less sugar into your system. But it is giving you potassium and it's giving you magnesium, which is going to help out with your blood pressure. There's also something interesting too on that Harvard Health page. They talked about the actual skin, the rind of the banana peel. Not just used in Diddy Kong Racing when you flung it back and made Mario spin on his golf cart. This was actually used as I'm getting a note from production that not everybody is into video games, but please and thank you. Yes, duly noted. These were actually used as a strong an antioxidant and an antibiotic use back in the day. It's like a home remedy, kind of like not an old wives' tale, but like is it old wives' tale or a witch's brew or a home brew, where you use things around the house, you use things that are found in nature, natural to the earth, to help out with infections. That you could put this banana peel on a wound for a couple hours after you get a wound, and it's supposed to help out with antibacterial properties. It's apparently a very good antioxidant. Just know, bananas have been around forever. Okay, they've been around. A lot of people have been eating them, okay? So it's not a bad choice. If you're thinking about this banana or some processed food that you find on the insides of a grocery store, maybe go with the banana next time. Just know that I am watching your carbs for you. I hope you start to watch your carbs, just like I'm starting to watch these bananas. And that I hope that as you're feeling like you're going bananas inside, trapped during this COVID social quarantining, social distancing crisis, I hope that you find time to listen to your favorite podcasts with Performance Audio. Thank you for joining us. This has been brought to you by Chiquita Bananas. We're not receiving any funds from Chiquita or Gerber, but boy, would we like to. Please and thank you. This has been your friend Andy with Carb Watch, and I hope we tune in next week where we discover carbs are everywhere.